Wagwan PokeMoshPit. It is I, SourBawss, formerly a PMP recruit, but now a fully fledged director on this channel, so thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy today's battle that I bring you today. This will be an OU match against BuBBleGumBoi, I believe. I found him on the Smogon Wi-Fi battle finder. And as I said, OU match, this is against my Hail team versus his Rain team, basically. And look at team preview, both got Jirachi and both got Tentacruel, you know, typical OU fashion. We both have at least one Pokemon which is the same, but whatever. Big threats really are the Jirachi because it's steel type. I want to just, basic strategy with this Hail team is to bliss spam everything to high heaven, but I can't do that with the steel type Jirachi. And then there's also the Politoed, which is basically the weather changer. This will be a weather war. And as well as the Toxicroak could prove to be very annoying as it is a fighting type and, you know, ice fighting. You get the gist of it. But I'm assuming this will be the SD variant as Bulk Up isn't really as viable, sub Bulk Up. Just not as good as it was earlier on in the metagame, but everything else I could deal with just fine, seeing as it is a Hail team. I could take out Latias and the Salamence quite easily. But so to start off with, I do try and predict him to lead off with either Tentacruel or Politoed, just to mainly the Politoed just to get up the rain, as I want to lead off with Kyurem just to get off a Dracometer on whatever he wants to do, and also scout out what kind of variant it is. Is it defensive or scarfed? So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the show. So I am just going to lead off with my Kyurem as my opponent picks a great lead, being that Jirachi. I should have probably predicted that, but honestly, you can't change the past. What can you do? As I'm just going to switch out into my Tentacruel as he does decide to lay out the Stealth Rocks, as I'm just going to go for that Scald, just trying to get that 30% chance of burn, and I do actually get it. So if this thing has the Iron Head, which I am assuming it does, then that thing won't be doing much damage at all, as he does show me Thunder. So now I'm thinking Stealth Rock, Wish, Thunder and Iron Head, so that's the moveset this thing will have. Because it is in the rain, he does miss the first one as it only has 70% accuracy, as I'm just waiting for a chance to switch out into my Bomber Snow so I can get the Hail up, so I can decrease its accuracy even further. Which is exactly what happens. I get my Hail up, so now that time's accuracy is cut in half once again. And also the Stealth Rocks are off from the side of my field, so I'm looking pretty good. But I would have been even better if I actually predicted this next one. If I actually clicked the Wood Hammer as he brings out his Politoed. I wasn't sure it was either Earthquake or Wood Hammer, as this is a choice band of Bomber Snow. If I did click that, that thing would be absolutely, it'll be obliterated, seeing as I am Adamant Max Attack and no version of Politoed can survive it unless it's carrying the Rindo Berry to weaken grass attack moves, but no one carries that, honestly. But hindsight's hindsight, what can you do? As I'm just going to bring in my Bomber Snow now. Because I see the leftovers, I know this will be a defensive variant with Toxic, Protect, Scold and possibly Encore or Ice Beam, I forget. But because he does carry the Protect, predicting around my Bomber Snow will be made a lot easier, trust me. As he does bring in his Salamence just to take that Wood Hammer ×4 resist. As he does double switch out into his Politoed, seeing as I would fear the Fire Blast, as I'm just going to switch out into my Heatran just to take that, but he does switch out his Politoed. Now, because this is a rain team, I do want to get these Stealth Rocks up, as Heatran won't be as useful this match apart from taking down that Jirachi, but because this is a defensive Politoed, I know I'm going to be able to live a rain boosted Scald from this thing, as I'm just going to switch out into my Tentacruel just for some, just as a pivot switch basically, so I can get a free switch into my Kyurem, so I can just start spamming some Dracometeors, seeing as it's been about 4 minutes into this video and nothing's died, which is absolutely frustrating, but patience is a virtue. If you get impatient you may lose the battle. So I finally get into my Kyurem as he does decide to switch out into his Tentacruel, as I'm just going to spam a Dracometer. It's modest, but I am scarfed. I need to try out Specs Kyurem sometimes, seeing as the raw power is absolutely amazing, but in any case, Tentacruel does take that quite nicely as he does go for Wrap Spin, which is fine. The fact that he has to waste a turn just to spin this way is just more than dandy for me. But he does get Rain Dish and Black Sludge Recovery, so which is pretty annoying, as I'm just going to change the weather As he does go for the Scald, I'm praying that I don't get that 30% chance of burn, which I don't, which is excellent. But unfortunately, I am in the same position that I was in with the Politoed. This thing does have Protect, so it's very easy for my opponent to predict around my Bombasnow. But because he sees that I did go for the Earthquake, I am assuming he's going to switch out into his Salamence or his Latias, one of his two things that can avoid the Earthquake, as I'm going to double switch out into my Kyurem as well, so I can just proceed to spam Blizzard this time. As he does decide to switch out into his Jirachi, as he does take this Blizzard quite nicely actually, as it is most likely max HP, max special defense, but it still does quite a bit, seeing as it is still a Kyurem after all. But Hail and Burn are starting to take its toll, so I'm going to switch out into my Heatran, as I am predicting just to go for that Wish, as he has a lot of switch-ins for this Heatran, seeing as everything resists the Fire Blast stab, so I'm thinking he's going to predict me to over-predict or go for the Earth Power or make the wrong move basically, as I'm just going to go for that Fire Blast and he stays in, which is a crucial play. So now that Jirachi's gone, I'm free to just spam those Blizzards to high heaven, seeing as that Tentacruel can't keep switching in like that. As I'm just going to go for that Earth Power on this Politoed just to get some collateral damage. It would have probably been a better investment if I went for that Stealth Rock once again, but again, what can you do? As I'm just going to bring in my Bombasnow just to get my Hail back up. As I make a bad play right here, I do stay in instead of double switching back into my Kyurem, as this thing will go for the Toxic on my Kyurem, which will pretty much limit his sweeping capabilities, but regardless, he is just going to go for that Protect once again, rinse and repeat, just trying to stall me out, but in the end something's about to die, as I do have a Draco Meteor, Modest, and the only things he has left is Latias, can't take it, Salamence, can't take it, Tentacruel isn't going to appreciate it at all, and then there's also the Toxicroak, so he is actually going to decide to sack his Politoed, meaning that I win. My Hail's here to stay, guys. So with his Politoed out of the way, it seems that I've got the advantage, but I'm not out of the woods yet, so he's going to bring out his Latias. Because I'm at -2, I know this won't kill, so I'm going to have to switch out into my Jirachi, as Jirachi is my defense against these types of Latias, Calm Mind, as well as the Reuniclus and also Alakazam, which recently moved out to OU. As he does go for that Calm Mind, I'm expecting him to be, I'm not sure if he's HP 5 variants, but I'm just going to go for that Thunder Wave. I carry Thunder Wave sort of Body Slam because 6% chance can really bite you in the arse sometimes, but I am free just to abuse my Serene Grace and keep flinching this thing to death, but not really. This thing shows me Psycho Shift, which tells me quite a lot, seeing as now I assumed this was already, I wasn't sure if it had HP Fire, but now that I've seen Psycho Shift, Calm Mind, which will also be Dragon Pulse and Recover, are the last 2 slots in its move pool. So that tells me that this thing is also max HP, max speed with no special attack investment. And with my max HP Abomasnow, I will be able to live a +2 Dragon Pulse with no investment, and proceed to KO back with an Avalanche, Choice Band and Mata Adds, and down that thing goes. But unfortunately now, because I am locked into Avalanche, he will bring in his Toxicroak, which is the other big threat I was worried about, and he does reveal to me that he is the bulk up set, so I was expecting him just to kill me off, but he does decide to start setting up. But because he shows me bulk up, this tells me that he also has the Drain Punch, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to predict him just to go for that bulk up once again, and just go for another Avalanche, and bring him down to really, really low. But now I'm just going to go back into my Tentacruel. I do actually pack the Liquid Ooze and not the Rain Dish, seeing as fighting types does cause me a bit of trouble for this team. Liquid Ooze does activate, and down goes that Toxicroak, doing pretty much nothing to my team. The outcome of this match is looking pretty clear right now, as he's going to switch out into Salamence, goes for that Dragon Dance just to try and get some momentum back. And I'm just going to stay in and just go for that Scald and get the burn again, which is amazing. Wow. As I assumed he was just going to go for the Earthquake or try and Dragon Claw just to try and take me out, but then he starts roost stalling me, and I'm just like, really now? Really? You cannot be serious, the game's already mine. I've got a Abomasnow with Ice Shard, I've got Kyurem back. I really hate it when people just start, uselessly stalling me out. It is so annoying. I mean, you guys must have probably experienced this once in your lifetime. Some moron just trying to stall you out when the game's already cleared, the outcome is just right there, but you just won't take it. Oh. Either in the long run, I finally get a crit and take this thing out, which, oh, so annoying. Hate that. But after that minor annoyance, I'm just going to switch out into my bonus mode just to die, so I can just wrap this game up with a combination of Dracometeus from Kyurem, and then the final side shock from Reuniclus. So that's a good game, BuBBleGumBoi. If you have a YouTube channel, just leave a comment in the comment section below. And as always guys, if you like the video, please give the video a like rating. Subscribe to the PokeMoshPit, and if you liked my narration style, come check me out. My channel link will be down in the description below as well. So, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the other side.